Well, hello friends, welcome to my new vlog. I hope you're having a lovely October. Spooky season is kind of galloping on now. I'm looking forward to Halloween, All Hallows Eve, and I'm really enjoying October, but I must say, I don't feel I could live in October all the time, much as I'm enjoying it. I'll be quite pleased to have enjoyed it, but be glad when it's over. However, it's not over. So today, in this video, I'm hoping to do some spooky activities, maybe make some nice pumpkin soup, which would be very good, and just tell you what I've been up to. And by the way, if you're new here, thank you, welcome, and thank you for clicking on this video. My name is Kate Sanderson. I've appeared in a lot of horror movies. I love anything spooky, mysterious, esoteric, though I'm also a Christian. So there you go, that's quite a mix. I moved into this house in Essex at the beginning of the year, and I'm slowly getting it organised, so I also do things about my house. So if you would enjoy that, please keep watching. Let's start on the first thing I want to show you. Well friends, here in front of me I have a jigsaw puzzle, also sort of a game called the Glenmore Haunting. This is available I think on Amazon for about £40, or if you're me, I got this in a charity shop for £1.50, and the box was all sellotaped up. I don't think anyone had ever opened it. And from what I understand from reading the information on the box, you go through the circumstances. There's a pamphlet here, a kind of story, which you go through, and that gives you the information about the haunting and the murder before the haunting, I think, and then you do the jigsaw puzzle, which is 1,000 pieces. But to just make matters more complicated, this is not what the picture of the jigsaw puzzle is. I think you can cheat and look it up on the internet, but there you go. Let's look at the pamphlet. So it's by a company called Be Puzzled. Glenmore Haunting, read the story, assemble the puzzle, and find the clues. Can you solve the mystery? Story by Alan Robbins. This, I think, seems a perfect kind of spooky occupation. So there's a lovely story here. I would happily read out this story, but it would be going against copyright, because this will be in copyright. Let me just read the opening paragraph. I think that's okay. Naturally, it was raining. Not a gentle rain, but the kind of icy downpour found only at haunted houses. And Glenmore Castle was the perfect place for a haunting. It was one of those old stone castles that dot the eastern coast of Scotland. The whole colourful and violent history of the Celts and the Scots seemed to be etched in its austere towers. Not exactly the sunny spot John and Emma Steele had hoped for as they planned their next vacation, but when she won the trip in a contest, it seemed that fate had made the decision for them. Now, standing before the castle in all its menace, she wondered whose side fate was really on. Ooh, that looks good. There's some information here. Did you hear that sound? It was horrible, like some kind of howl. I think it was the ghost of Glenmore Castle. There we have some fantastic bagpipes and some clues. This is the box the puzzle comes in. And then these are different characters that are in the story. Okay, and this is John and Emma Steele, who won the holiday in a competition. Whether they were lucky or not remains to be seen. So I'm going to try and assemble the puzzle a little bit. Okay. Well, here I have a puzzle roll that I bought on eBay, because I don't think I can keep it here all the time. Oops, a few more bits in there. And so I'll now try and separate the straight edge bits from the knobbly edged bits. And that's my first thing. Well, that took absolutely ages just in itself, but now I'll try and put the flat bits together. Well, friends, any of you that know me will know that this is the time when I do my Halloween countdown calendar. To tell anyone who's new, I bought this Nightmare Before Christmas Halloween countdown calendar, and it has nothing related to Nightmare Before Christmas in it. If I come down here, these are the little sort of plastic items that are in it. It was very cheap, but I think it's definitely not an official tie-up with Nightmare Before Christmas or Tim Burton. So I'm not following along the exact days because it's 24. And of course, there are 31 days in October, so I'll just try doing one. What one are we at? Have we got to 14? Let me pause a second. Okay friends, I've got 14, I think partly open. So I'll try and pull it open and we'll see if there's anything inside. Oh, possibly we've got 2 things in here. Oh, honestly, what a hassle. Ugh. Right. Oh, pause again. Sorry about that, friends. Okay, what we have is, oh, a little black cat. So that's very apt for me. I love cats. And we have a witch's hat. So that's interesting. In 13, we didn't get anything. So as I said to my, friends who've already been watching my videos, I think I might try and put these into some sort of Halloween craft project or diorama for next year. I thought I would give them out for trick-or-treat things, but then I thought they might be a bit of a choke hazard for small children, so I won't do that. Anyway, it just goes to show, be careful of what you buy and see if it's an official piece of merchandise from that company or that movie or whatever. So anyway, that concludes the countdown calendar for today. Well friends, I am really quite tired after all that wrestling with the jigsaw puzzle. It's been years since I've done a jigsaw puzzle, and the last one I did was much easier than that. So, I think now I'm going to have some lunch. That sounds good. Well friends, I'm here in my spooky dining room, and I'm just having some pasta. Got my luminary there, some high juice here. There's some Halloween pasta in there, but I would say with that Halloween pasta, it was very dense and you just needed a little bit of it. So I just added a few bits to the ordinary penne pasta. And then here I've got a lovely African table mat given to me again by my friend Nadine. And it's just really beautiful with the African tablecloth. So I'm feeling very privileged to have a lovely cozy lunch at home. And yeah. This, by the way, is not homemade sauce. It's just the tomato and grilled pepper stir-in sauce from Lidl, but it is rather delicious. Okay, bon appetit. Hello. Hello, pussycat. I'm very lucky to see a black cat as we approach Halloween. Lovely. Okay, I better be going, darling. Okay. Well, friends, welcome to my garden. There's a lot of leaves here, which I will try and, I think, sweep up now because apparently, there's my ghostie over there, there's going to be 4 days of rain. So rather than have all these leaves mush up into the patio, which I recently had jet washed, I'm going to gather them up. So that's nice. Okay, very autumnal. They're pretty leaves actually. I've got a good class of leaf in my garden. Try and clean up around Buddha. I got a leaf thing that draws up leaves, but it needs to be cleaned out, and I still haven't done that. Okay. Right, the great leaf sweep can start. Cool. Very good. This garden is so much better than it used to be. If you're new to my channel, look back at earlier videos. It was awful. Okay. Well, that's a lot of the leaves tidied up. So that's good. It's not perfect. I am a bit disappointed the grandma shark needs to be cleaned out. They didn't mention that in their in all their stuff on that Amazon and stuff, but however, it's okay. In another little update, only one of my pumpkin seedlings is still alive, unfortunately. I will give this one some water, so it's still going, and it looks as if it has a little flower, but it won't be able to be fertilized, so of course there will be no pumpkin, but I've learned a lot this year, and maybe next year there will be a pumpkin. Yes, I can see there are some tiny little leaves coming up. But yeah, I'll just plop those in. Those bring more air into the water and clean it, so hopefully we will get water lilies again next year. And I think this fake lily could do with a bit of a clean. It's looking a bit yucky. And actually, I'll take this one as well, give it a clean, and that will be a good idea. Great. Hi friends. Well, I've had a very discouraging afternoon. My voice recording equipment's not working. So I've come back to this jigsaw puzzle and I'm trying to just pull out the little bits that have a bit of tartan on them. Like there's one. And try and just put those bits of the puzzle together. I must say it has humbled me, this puzzle. I just can't believe how difficult it is. But it will be a good challenge, and if it takes me till Christmas, I'm going to get it done. The puzzle do say that they think it should take you about 9 hours. Oh, I need to change this sofa cover. Okay, there's another bit of tartan. Oh, there's a bit of the wood. Here's a bit of the woody one. Okay, right. I think after a disappointing afternoon, I'm going to have a break. Right. Okay. Guys, here I am at the end of the day. I am much chastened. It's quite humbling to do a jigsaw puzzle like this. I've only got like these little bits that I've done. I really hoped I'd get the whole outline done. That's just not been possible. Each bit of the picture is so tiny I can't actually see what it is. I've worked out some chunks of the tartan. I've got this strip here. I've got these little purple bits here. And I must say it's really been good for me to concentrate like this. I think I need to iron my mat before I use it because it wasn't working very well. So that's where I am after the first day. So I think I've worked on this for at least an hour and a half, or not, an hour and 3/4 or something, 2 hours. And this is how far I've got. I would say though that once you narrow down a certain group of colours and patterns, you get a little spurt of it working out, but that takes a while. So anyway, this is where I am at the end of today. I'll try a bit more tomorrow. Good morning, friends. It's Sunday morning and I'm feeling a little bit sort of a bit sleepy, and I found this really cute music. I can't put the music on because it's under copyright for YouTube, but it's just so adorable. This naughty cat is making me think of Cookie. I was once living in a castle where there were bats because I was making a movie, but I don't think I saw the bats on myself up close, but they're amazing. Okay, I better get dressed. Oh. The washing machine sounds incredibly alarming. I don't know, honestly. It's another beautiful day. No rain, as was promised. You see the leaves are piling up again, as they should. It's that time of year. I've given these faux water lilies a good wash, so I'm going to drop them back in here now. Okay. I understand it's bad for water lilies to have other leaves on the top of their water, because that stops them from so I shouldn't really have in these faux water lilies, but there you go. I do hope they're okay. I think I need a walk. Okay. Hello, Cookie. Hello, darling. You're having a wee sleep. Good boy. I'll see you in a bit. It's just a perfect day for a walk. I've come to the seaside to clear my head. It's blowing away the cobwebs. It's not cold, it's not hot, it's simply a perfect day to have a good walk on the beach. And yeah, I love the sea grasses. And yeah, I have to make my way home soon, but it's just been a wonderful breath of pure air. Wow. So I have never seen Halloween Puppy before, but as I'm a bit sensitive at the moment, it's another sort of child-focused one that I've ordered, and we'll just see if it's any good. Okay, let's have a look. Hi friends, it's the next day. I've lasted with having the jigsaw puzzle on my dining room table for about an hour and a half. I've now brought it up here to the main bedroom, and it is really difficult. I mean, I've sorted out the bits of jigsaw puzzle into different colours, and I've made tiny progresses. I noticed on the internet that there are several different versions of this jigsaw. I don't know if that's a thing in jigsaws, but yeah. My aunt is going to come back and visit me sometime in November, and she'll be staying in this room, so I will give myself till her return to finish the jigsaw, and then I will have to maybe give it up until a time when, I don't know, I just have so much time that I don't know what to do with. But I must say, this jigsaw has humbled me. I had no idea how hard they were, and yeah, it will be an ongoing saga. Hello again, friends. Well, as I think I said, I had a walk today because I was a bit disappointed, disappointed with my recording equipment not working properly yesterday, wasted a lot of time, yada yada. It is what it is. Let me show you what I'm having for tea. It's that time of day to have a cup of tea and a little snack. I've got some incense. I bought some new incense because I ran out of my old one, and they're just called Karma Scents 40 incense cones, and it's called Nag Champa. And I must say, oh, the smell is just wonderful. I love the smell of incense. I think you either love it or you hate it. For a snack, I've got some of these Japanese mochi custard bites. I've got one banana, one raspberry. Here's the package in case you were interested. Called custard mochi. And they also do lemon flavour, which is kind of Japanese, very interesting. Just that little twirl of smoke is so comforting. If there's such a thing as past lives, I think I must have been Indian in a past life because I love the smell of the Nag Champa. Okay, I'm going to open up my mochi bites and show you them. There we go. They're nice. I would say that the texture of the bites is a bit like gelatin, so I'm wondering if it's good for your nails and stuff. In fact, I don't know. Is it gelatin? Maybe it's agar. I don't know, but it's got that kind of feel. I really have to go to Japan. This table setting, it's been so good. I've loved that orange glass. It's looked so cozy on so many evenings. Okay, I'm going to have my tea now. I think it's very sort of Japanese to have a flavour mixture like lemon, banana and raspberry. I don't think in British confectionery you would ever have those fruit flavours as a mixture. But they were all nice. I would say the lemon and raspberry were my favourites. I wasn't so much into the banana. I mean, I like bananas, but I'm not so keen on banana flavoured stuff. I don't know why. Very strange. I thought I'd catch you up to the DVDs I've been watching. Cookie is really quite peaceful and happy. I think the medication's helping him. But I've, it's been a slightly rough time. So I've again been looking at more like child-based spooky movies rather than proper horror movies, which I normally really enjoy. I will try and watch some proper horror movies this week and give you some more recommendations. So finally, I did find my DVD for Halloween Town. And I watched Halloween Town 2, Calabar's Revenge. And I must say, I really enjoyed it. I do hope I'm looking at the right bit of the camera. It was great fun. Debbie Reynolds was super. In fact, everybody, I think they brought back everybody from the original show. And there were some really funny moments with the characters in Halloween Town. So it was really good Disney family fun. I sometimes wish that they would remember that instead of making everything so complicated. Yeah, it was really, really lovely. There are apparently 2 more Halloween Town movies. In fact, there are, because I have them in another DVD. Will I watch them before the end of October? I might do, but I'll certainly watch them eventually. And they're really cute. And I kind of, although sadly, of course, Debbie Reynolds is no longer with us, I kind of hope that they will make yet another Halloween Town movie one day, maybe a special or something, because They're a very nice group of actors. It's a lovely story. I think it would be nice to do it again. Of course, they're maybe all going, no, 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 no more Halloween Town. That was enough. But good acting, and it was really fun. Okay, now you may have seen, no, actually, let's talk next of all about The Frighteners. The Frighteners is not a very good DVD case. Sorry, I'm going to have a sip of tea. The DVD case is kind of unusual because it's so subtle. It really gives you no idea what the movie's about. It stars Michael J. Fox and Trini Alvarado. I think it must be about 20 years old now, but it's still just fantastic. I mean, it hasn't aged at all. And it's a Peter Jackson movie. It's a comedy horror movie, but it has some really good scary bits. I would say it's probably not suitable for small children, but from like 9 or 10, I would say you could watch this one. And I always love it. It's another movie I watch every single Halloween, and it's all about this this serial killer. That just sounds horrible. From like the 1960s, who was shot by the police, but who exists as a kind of spirit, and he continues to haunt the people in this particular town where Michael J. Fox lives. But it's all a mystery, and no one understands what's going on. And at one point, Michael J. Fox kind of gets blamed, his character. And I don't want to spoil any more of what happens, but it's a really good story. How they thought of it all, I don't know. They have such imagination to come up with such a great idea. It's wonderfully filmed, and it has Dee Wallace-Stone from E.T. playing a very good role, and a really different role from the one she had in E.T., so that's lovely. I always love her. But everyone's great. It's very funny. Love The Frighteners. It is a top movie. Definitely. Okay. Now, you also may have seen earlier in the movie, I was sitting down to watch this film called Halloween Puppy, starring Eric Roberts, who's Julia Roberts' brother, Emma Roberts' dad. He's a very good actor too. You know, it shouldn't be referring to him as by his relatives, but there you go. They're so famous as well. You can't help mentioning. I wonder, are acting families a thing? I mean, do people inherit those acting abilities in their genes, or is it just that they grow up in a theatrical family and that's what they think is normal, or is it a mixture? I guess we'll never know. Anyway, Halloween Puppy is a really cute film. You can get it on eBay very cheaply. It is a bit of a silly plot, I must say. I don't think I'm giving it away by saying that someone is sort of turned by magic into a dog. And then the premise of the story is all how that unfolds and what they do about it. And of course, that actor has the chance to portray a dog, which is a good challenge for an actor. And the dog is personally really cute, and the story is nice. I would say, for me as a British person, part of the charm of Halloween Puppy, an ancillary charm, was they film it in this beautiful house in Malibu in LA, and also this place called Silmar also in California, and just the vista and the it's just so beautiful and elegant. It was fantastic to just look at those beautiful views, and visually, what I'm saying is, visually it's a very nice movie, and it's a good story. I would say that perhaps why this movie didn't take off so well is that I would say they're trying to appeal to sort of younger children, but the protagonists are teenagers. So I don't know if the younger children are going to be interested in the protagonists being teenagers. I enjoyed it. I love a Halloween movie, and I thought it was a really cute story, and I will watch this again. And, I loved it. I recommend this one. And if you're not very well off, as I say, you can find DVDs of this on eBay very inexpensively, even under £1. And it's really fun. And I think your children might enjoy it. And it's very, nothing too scary or unwholesome about it. So it's very cute. Okay. Okay, I have a confession to make. It's just awful. I'm sorry. I don't know how many Halloween plushies I've got now. I think this is not maybe just a Halloween one. I think this is more just a general autumn plushie. He's just a nice sort of big ginger cat. Maybe I'm going to call him Marmalade. He's so cute. And he's really a cushion. I don't know. I think he's nice. He's got like little sparkly ears. And I did get this in a charity shop when I was a clip of me outside looking at the outside of a charity shop. I got him either in there or in another one nearby. And I'm very pleased with him. He's just really, really soft and cozy. So that's nice. I wonder if I'm actually sane. It's a good question. I don't know. Oh, I'm going to have some more tea. Hi again. Ran out of space again. Today has been as I say, a bit of a mixed day. One thing I found difficult since I moved house is getting rid of some of the bags that I used to transport things here. I don't know if you know what I mean. On Amazon, you can buy these great big sort of bags that you can use instead of boxes. And I bought quite a lot of those over the sort of months I was packing up my house to come here. And I've actually emptied most of them. But because, I don't know, I've had a great deal of difficulty getting rid of them or giving them to the charity shop. I'm going to do it now. But today I was sitting upstairs in the room in the loft and they just looked so ugly. And I was there for a while and I couldn't avoid it. And I was ending up looking at them. And I just thought there's no reason why I'm keeping these. I think a part of me is worried I might suddenly have to move again. Possibly because I'm in show business and my life can change quickly. And then I might be able to use these bags. But the truth is that's very, very unlikely. And I don't know what I think I'm gaining by keeping them. So I will tomorrow be giving a lot of these great big storage bags to the charity shop. And that's good. And it will be a move forward. And it's just bizarre to me how many layers and layers of strange kind of beliefs and sort of rules you make for yourself that you wouldn't even know unless you actually sit down and think about it. Yeah, I'm sorry, I don't know what I'm rambling on about. I think what I'm saying is if you're having difficulty clearing out a room, but you know there's a lot of stuff in there that you don't use, my advice to you is to go into that room, sit quietly, look at the stuff, and look at it, and look at it, and look at it, and just consider, especially if it's really quite ugly, why you're keeping this. Why is it taking up space in your life when someone else might be making a good use of it, or it's done for? And I think that is a good thing to do. And I didn't mean to do this. I did it today by default because, as I say, I had to be in that loft room for a while. And that's going to free up a lot of room. So that's just a little bit of advice I have for you. If you're stuck with stuff, sit with it and look at it and ask yourself why you're keeping it. And you may actually find that very logically you don't need it. Okay, well, one thing today that happened that was unexpected, I beg your pardon, those mochi bites are making me a little bit burpy, oh dear. I went to the seaside. I had a walk. I got back home to my hometown and went into this strange shop near me where they sell very, very cheaply priced things. Like you can get a big sack of potatoes for £10. I've never actually gone in there because I buy too much stuff and I just thought it could be too tempting. And I noticed that they had these boxes of Halloween cookie mix from apparently Lidl. And I checked them and they are in date. And I've never seen these in Lidl. But one thing I've been looking at American YouTube and wishing I could have is these Pillsbury Halloween cookies. Everyone keeps talking about them. I think you just roll them out and bake them and they're just really cute and a thing. But I've looked everywhere and I don't think they sell them in the UK, or if they do sell them, I couldn't track down where they are. If anyone watching this video knows a good supplier of the Pillsbury Halloween cookies, please tell me, put it in the comments, because they look really nice. And I get, maybe they don't pass British food standard laws, because I think sometimes the Americans allow more things than we do, because in Britain, apparently, if there's a question that a certain additive or ingredient might be harmful, the British will just ban it, whereas the Americans say you have to prove it's bad and we'll let it in. I think that's true. I may be wrong. So maybe it's actually a good thing I can't get these Pillsbury cookies, but they do look so nice. Anyway, what I might do now is just go to the kitchen and maybe we could try and just bake up these cookies quickly. I will try and make pumpkin soup. I was going to do that today, but just the idea of lugging home a pumpkin from the shops just didn't appeal, though I love pumpkin soup. I ended up having like stir-fry veggies that my aunt bought for me, and she just left them and I ate them. They were lovely. And I had miso soup from the Japanese shop, kind of just mixed together, and that was very nice too. So it wasn't too spicy like the noodles. I have to say that those noodles that I tried, are they called Bukhara noodles? Oh, I think they're not for me. I won't be buying them again. It was worth trying, but no, the flavorings in them are horrible. Don't like the cheese flavoring. I don't like the hot flavoring. So it was just a lesson learned. Anyway, let's now go to the kitchen and look at these Halloween cookies. Well friends, welcome to my kitchen. It is looking as if it's an autumnal day. Yeah, oh gosh, Cookie wants the water on again. Cookie, just give it a minute. I can't have the tap on when I'm cooking. It makes too much noise. Okay, here we have the Halloween iced cookies in question, and they are in date, I've checked. So apparently we also need margarine and an egg. I will say one thing to Lidl or whoever's watching. The ingredients, the instructions, tiny, tiny, tiny lettering. I have needed to use a magnifying glass to read them. Wow, that magnifying glass needs a polish. Okay, there you go. And it's not that complicated, but you know, it's just so tiny. I mean, honestly. Now let's open up the packet. Okay, so I've got one big packet of cake bite mixture. They're cake bites, not cookies. And then this is the icing, which I assume is a dark red colour. And we have little Halloween jack-o'-lantern decorations. So far so good. Yeah, it's... my kitchen may look really messy to you, but to me, it's such an improvement on what it was. Right, let's get mixing. Okay, friends, I've had to preheat the oven to 180 because it's a fan oven. It can be a bit less. So that's on now, and I will get my ingredients into the bowl. Here's my cake mixture. Okay, and I need an egg. So there we are. They want you to use an electric whisk to stir up the mixture. I do have a whisk somewhere. My sister actually gave it to me as a gift once, but I don't know where it is. So I'm going to have to do it up by hand, and we'll just see how that works out. Okay. Okay, well, I'm not a high-speed mixer, but I do feel that looks to me pretty mixed together. Yeah, I think so. I'll double check the ingredients to make sure you don't have to add any milk or anything. Okay. Hi again, friends. No, I've checked. There's nothing else to be added. Apparently this is to be divided into 14 different little bits and put onto the baking tray. So I don't think I'm going to manage to film that process, but I will show you the baking tray when I've got the 14 little bites on the paper. There we go. They're not professional looking exactly, but I've done my best, and I'll put them in the oven now. Okay. Good luck. Well friends, they're in the oven now. I've just got to prepare the glaze when they come out. They've got to cool for 10 minutes before the glaze goes on. They were very, very simple. I really just should make cookies from scratch. I don't know why I get so excited by just a sort of Halloween packet. However, I will tidy up now, and when they come out, I'll show you how they look. Okay. Well, they are certainly smelling lovely. The ones that were slightly higher up in the oven look a bit healthier than the ones below, but the smell is delicious, and I've tested them with the skewer, so they are cooked. And I now have to leave them for 10 minutes, so I shall be back in 10 minutes to do the glaze. Okay friends, here's the sort of icing powder and the water I've put in. So I shall now try to sort of mix it all up together, and come back to you in a minute. Okay, I think that looks pretty kind of like ghoulish and Halloweeny bread. Yeah. So I'm going to bring the cakes down now and try and drop the icing onto the cakes and see how they look. Right. I bet there's a really neat way of doing this, and I'm probably not doing it. As I've said before, my sister is a wonderful cook and baker, and she would have these looking absolutely perfect. I mean, I guess they can look a bit messy because it's kind of Halloweeny looking, isn't it? Oh, that's all going to drip down to the side. Yeah. Okay, it is kind of fun. I have to say, I think with hot sponge cake, really something that's really nice is just plain old jam. Just some raspberry or strawberry jam on them. But of course I'm going to try and do this because, well, that's what they gave you in the pack, and I should just have a go at it. Haha, oops. Okay. Okay, that's probably the most perfect one that I've done. That one. Oh dear. It's all dripping off the edge. Maybe if I leave them for a while, the icing will sort of settle a bit, and it won't be quite so lethal to try and pick one up. Oh. Okay, friends, well, I think they look pretty cute. I must say that, as is perhaps what I might expect from a German company like Lidl, the amount of icing was almost exactly perfect for the amount of cakes, because I've put far too much icing on some of these ones. It's dripping over, but there was none left over. But they did give you a lot more of the little jack-o'-lantern decorations than you needed, which is weird. Okay, well, that's good. I think I have to leave these to sort of set for a while, and then I have to do some little tasks in the house now. Then I'm going to sit down with a couple of these Halloween bites and a cup of tea later, another cup of tea, and watch a movie. And that will be the end of today, I think. Okay. Well, friends, here we are. I've got some Halloween cake bites and a toasted cheese sandwich and my cup of tea, and I'm going to watch The Legend of Hell House. In a minute I'll put it on, and that is a grown-up horror movie, and it's not one I've seen for ages, and I love it. Okay. Well, friends, here is my next sort of spooky activity. Over the summer I grabbed this kit, actually I think in Lidl or Aldi as well. They've been a real resource for me this year, and what really drew me to this luxury candle kit was this sun and moon face candle. I've always loved things with the sun and the moon on them. I think it fits in with my sort of esoteric loving vibe. So I'm going to now open the box and see what they give you and see if we can possibly make a sun and moon candle. Hello again. Well, here we go. We got wicks and wax beads, a little bit of purple colour, a little bit of yellow colour, and some basic candle shapes, and also with the sun and the moon. I do notice that they don't seem to give you the one for this sort of knobbly candle, or the one for the round kind of ridged candle like a cookie cutter shape. So they don't have everything that they look as if they're going to have. But then, you know, it's only an inexpensive kit, so I don't know what I'm expecting. Oh, I'm wrong. They do have the cookie cutter candle. Don't know, it's right in front of me. I don't know what's wrong with me. Let's have a look at the instructions. Well, it does look pretty good instructions. It seems to be that to make the sun and moon candle, it's in 3 stages. You first of all do the moon bit, then you let it cool a bit, then you do, I think, the sun bit after you've added some colour, then you let that cool, then you pour the rest of the wax into the rest of the mould. I mean, they make it look so simple. It seems to be very important that you have a metal jug with a good lip that you can use to pour the candle wax accurately into the mould. And I'm not sure I have a metal jug like that with a good lip. So I will have a look through my cupboard and see if I can find one or if I can get one from somewhere. Okay. Good morning, everybody. As you can see, there's hardly any of the jigsaw done. I have found little bits that go together, like these are parts of some banknotes, and this is part of a bit that's on the edge. It's like a broom, but it's been such a lot of work just to get these bits done. I will say that there is a tremendous joy when you suddenly see 2 little bits that go together, but it's very painstaking. As I said to you, until my auntie comes back and stays in this room again, I will try and get this jigsaw done, but I think it's a long job. However, it must be possible because people do it. It's just so hard to fit together the precise bits. Sometimes bits seem to go together, but when you look at them, they actually don't. So anyway, I'll just persevere when I have odd moments. Oh, I've never seen this on film, only on stage. This is really cool. Well, good morning, friends. I'm feeling a little bit coldy. So, I've got all my autumn china here and my Gilmore's Girls Cup. Today, I think I'm going to try and finish off my next vlog. But this morning, I'm going to try and have a bit of a rest. I've got some of my Scottish marmalade here. And I'm just going to sit and relax a bit. There are paper shavings on the floor because something I ordered for actually for one of my next videos has arrived and I've not tidied up yet. So see you a bit in a little bit. Okay friends, well I have actually got the sporran and the kind of gold chain as well as the banknotes now. But my goodness, it is slow work. I don't think jigsaws are my thing, but I'm going to really try and persevere with it. Okay. Hello friends, well here we go. It's the day when I'm actually going to try and make my sun and moon candle. It's been a slightly odd few days, but today I'm going to do this. The bizarre thing about this, excuse me, Cookie's eating in the background and he's pushing his bowl around. I have wanted to make candles for years. I think when I was a teenager I once had like a candle kit as a gift and I did make a few candles, but they were they melted down in like a minute. It was very poor quality obviously, and it was kind of discouraging. So today I have my stuff that I showed you before and I'm going to try to make the sun and moon candle with this little wax. I found that you really kind of need to get a wax burner, so I got this one on Amazon, and they also have sent you a little spoon, I suppose, to stir up your wax. I hope at the end I'm going to have a lovely purple and white sun and moon candle. I don't think I will ever burn this. I think it's just going to be a decoration, if it works. So I'm hoping the moon will be white and the sun will be purple and then another bit will be white. I can't remember, but it's a variation of colours, which is maybe a bit ambitious for me to do today. It might be more sensible if I just tried to make a purple sun and moon candle, but knowing me, I'm going to try and do something a bit different. So, you have to start off, here's my sun and moon mould. I don't know if you can really see it properly. Apparently you have to take a spike or something and poke a hole in the top for the wick. I really wish they'd done this for you, but I suppose it was rather a cheap kit, so they didn't. So I will go and try and do that now. And if it works, I will put my wick in and show you how it looks. Okay, cool. Okay, friends, I hope you can see this. I have taken a skewer and I've poked the hole in the top of the mould and put in my wick. So now I'm just going to add my wax to the double boiler. Okay. Hello again. Apparently you should use a measuring jug to measure out the amount of water that you can get into the mould. Decrease it by 20% and that should be the amount of wax you should use. This is all good except I don't know where any of my measuring jugs are because I'm still in a bit of a mess here. So I think I'm just going to forgive myself a bit today. I mean, I usually do anyway. And I've got my jug to make my double boiler. You have to melt the wax in a double boiler, and that's why I had to buy the metal jug. I'll just turn around and show you in a second. And then I'll just add some wax, melt it, and do my best to fill in just the moon shape. And hopefully that will work. Okay, let's have a look at the double boiler. So here we are, the water's boiling away. I will now, I will add some wax. But this is the special jug that I bought on Amazon for making candles. And it has a very sharp lip, so that's obviously very important, that's what you need. So I'll now just add some wax roughly. Well, friends, I just had the fright of my life. The handle of my jug went on fire. It went on fire from the gas ring. So I don't know if I can actually do this craft. That was terrifying. I can't believe Amazon recommended this. Okay, I'll see if I can just melt it without having the heat on under it. Oh, God, that was terrifying. Well, friends, enough of the wax is melted that I can probably pour into the moon shape, but that was just so scary, honestly. Wow. Okay, I'll try and pour in the moon shape, the white bit. Okay. Okay, it has not really worked because I only needed a tiny amount of wax and it's gone over into the sun. However, it's just a first attempt. Maybe I'll try a tiny bit more there. Tiny bit more. That's probably going to look completely wrong. However, it's just a first try. Wow, that really scared me about the candle broiler. I mean, yeah. Maybe you're not supposed to use it with with an actual heat source underneath it. Maybe you're just supposed to use boiling water, but I didn't know that. When it said double boiler, I assumed you had to have water boiling underneath it. Yes, this has to be left to cool now. So I will let that cool down. And yeah, gosh, that was really scary. But I will persevere, and I'll just boil up some more water in an hour or so when I want to do the next bit, and hopefully that will work a bit better. Wow, okay. Hi again, friends. Apparently I shouldn't have had the live heat source from the oven on under the candle broiler. You should just use the boiling water, the heat of the boiling water to do it. So I was in the wrong there, but they didn't really make that very clear in the instructions. So I've learned a lesson. I've also ruined my new candle wax melt thingamie. I'll still use it, but that was a bit scary. Okay, there you go. You live and learn. Well, one thing I finally did today was get some tea lights for my Halloween little haunted houses and things. It's the kind of thing that I'd normally have organised at the very beginning of October. But this year, things are not as normal. So, there we go. I think this cat is not really Marmalade. He makes me think of a bright penny. I think I might call him Penny Royal. We'll see. Okay. Okay, well, it's a bit later and I'm now remelting my soy wax again. And when this is melted enough, I'm going to add a bit of purple to try to make the purple of the sun, to make my kind of mystically candle. I must say I cheated a bit and I took away the steam. Yes, I cheated a bit and I managed to remove a bit of the white wax that had gone into the sun's bit. It won't be perfect, but anyway, now I'm going to try and do the purple of the sun's face. So we'll see what happens. Okay, friends, there's my melted wax, and I will pause now and drop in some of the mica powder. Okay. So there's some powder in there, and I can't film and do this, so I'll now stir up the powder and try and get the colour spread round. Okay, that's looking quite regal and purple. I will now try and pour this into the sun bit of the mould. It might go a bit over, but I'll just try. Okay. Okay, maybe a tiny bit more now. Okay, right. So apparently now I should let this cool, I guess, overnight, and then tomorrow I will heat up my wax again and then pour in the rest, fill it up, fill up the rest of it. So it's quite a long process. Yeah, that's looking a lot darker than I actually thought it would be, like with the picture. I think I hoped I'd be a bit more pastel coloured, but no, that's fine. Just, I have to say, this mould looks very rigid. I don't know if I'll manage to pop out the candle in the end without breaking it. I think probably with these kits you kind of get what you pay for, because if we look here at the instructions, it's a silicone mould, which looks a lot more sensible. So Maybe if Santa's kind to me, I'll get some silicone candle molds and I can try and get a little production line going. Anyway, I think I'll leave it there for tonight. See you in the morning. Hello friends. It's a bit later now and I finally put my little battery operated tea lights into my haunted houses. If I come across, here are my little witches as well. It's kind of cute. It's not perfect. In the past I would have always put live flames in these, but now it's my own house and stuff. I'm a bit more nervous of, well, it was our family home before, but I don't know, I'm a bit more nervous of problems, especially today when I managed to set the candle melter on fire, the handle. Okay, well, it's very nice atmosphere. This time last year I didn't have all my stuff out, so I'm grateful for that. I'm grateful that I've got some more of my jigsaw puzzle done, though I don't think I'll get it finished for Halloween. But okay, good night and I will see you in the morning. Hello friends, it's the next night and I'm trying to melt some more wax to finish off my sun and moon candle. So I'll see how that goes. Okay friends, I'm now trying to pour in the rest of the wax, hoping it will work. Oop, it's gone over, oh dear. Okay, right, well, it's better than not having enough. Hello friends, another day, another autumn sweater. This sweater belonged to my mum and it kind of makes me feel close to her. So we're going to finish off the vlog here. It's been really long. Here is my sun and moon candle. I'm going to turn it around and just show you what I'm going to do. I'm going to try and pop it out of the mold. We'll see what happens. Fingers and everything crossed. Okay. Okay, so it says trim the wick to about 1/2 centimetre. Whoops. Okay. Obviously, I guess some candles are really long. You can see there, you can see that the moon seems to have got a bit purpley looking. So that probably serves me right for cheating. Anyway, now I'll just try and tap out the candle, see if it comes out of the mould okay. Right. Okay. Back in a second. Hello friends, well it's come out. I think that the purple wax seems to have bled in underneath the white moon, because I do think I had my white moon quite good, but it's okay. You can see it's a sun and a moon if you look at it carefully enough. Not perfect, but not bad. I don't think I'll burn it. I think I'll keep this as a memory of my first sort of candle that I made after many years of wanting to do candle making, and hopefully in the coming year we'll do more and it will go a bit better. Okay, great. Okay friends, well thank you very much if you've stuck to the end of this vlog. It's been one of my longest ever. It's been a bit rambly. This has been a difficult week for me, you know, Cookie's health, and I've just been going through a lot of things. Next vlog will be better. I will be more clear-sighted and it'll work better. So I hope I will see you on my next vlog. We'll see what happens on Halloween night here and what happens afterwards. And I hope you have a lovely week and happy Halloween.